second here.
Okay.
All right, good.
Hey, good evening, Guy. And this is Mayor Tom O'Leary on November 2nd, election eve. I want to take a few minutes tonight to talk about some things that happened last week and then see if there are questions about the upcoming week. Certainly, big focus for the country is the outcome of the election, which we may know tomorrow, but then again, we may not. So I want to draw attention to something that's on that came, maybe one of the nicest things that I had happen to me last week, and that was Thursday night. And I'll take you back if you were part of it, maybe where I'm heading. But it was a cold and rainy night, and I'm at the phase of my life where I'm taking grandkids to do things, and so I was encouraged to go to the Spooktacular, which was spectacular out at the Gallion Middle School. As we sat in line and long caravan of cars and minivans and SUVs, I was just struck by how many really nice young people there are in the community. And sometimes maybe I'm even responsible for leaving the impression that the kids are troublemakers. And that's really, if I left that impression, I sure don't mean to. And after Thursday night, it was just a tremendous show of community support. Just cars after cars. I talked to some people at the school on Friday. They said they were out there until 8 o'clock. So if you can imagine, if you were there, you don't have to imagine, but if you can imagine, dozens of middle school age kids from school groups and community youth groups just showed a lot about the character of the community. A lot of church youth groups blended with middle school groups. Is just a really outstanding show of community support. And as I was leaving, I was thinking, how could anyone, having witnessed that or been part of that, not be an enthusiastic supporter of tomorrow's school renewal? So if I'm sure everyone who went through that line feels similar to how I felt. And if you weren't there, you should have been there. So it would turn a lukewarm school voter, pro school levy voter into a strong and fired up voter for tomorrow. So that's as far into school politics as I'll get, but there's no better representation of what's going on at the school or really in the community with the youth than when you see something like that. So a big thumbs up to whoever organized it. And I've always felt Halloween was a conspiracy of the dentist to increase customers. So there was certainly plenty of candy and honestly other things than candy at the Spooktacular. So big thumbs up for the school and particularly for the kids who took a bunch of time out and did something for someone else. What a neat lesson to be teaching. The other thing that happened last week, it kind of remains to be seen what tangible results happen here, but there was some of you may be aware that the governor is calling elected officials, community leaders, public health officials in the high incident counties, which, all of a sudden over the past 2 or 3 weeks, Crawford County has gone from a really low incident county, a yellow county on the color chart, to we're kind of got back to back, and I wouldn't be surprised if we don't have a few more weeks in the red category, knowing a little bit about where these numbers are being generated from. But the governor has a notion of local officials taking a lead in what he's calling defense teams. And so I suspect that there'll be an effort among elected officials, I think public health officials, as I mentioned before. I think critically, the hospitals and the nursing home providers have to be really in the lead role in coming up with ideas or identifying gaps that we have here in the county, or more specifically here in the Gallion Health District. And I think that's what I hope the direction of this defense team. But it was certainly, I think, an important exercise by the governor and the lieutenant governor to talk with people in communities throughout the state. So I was happy to participate in that. And again, we'll have to see what kind of outcomes or what kind of changes happen in the county as a result of that. I know that here in the city, that the incidence of city employees testing positive for COVID, it has begun to be an issue around here, and so we're battening down the hatches, as they say, and redoubling our efforts to make sure city workers are protecting themselves, protecting the public. And so I honestly believe that here in rural Crawford County, we're entering that phase where you're going to see more and more of the incidental, what they call community spread, the kind of incidents that we're experiencing here. So anyways, the DeWine call happened. I think it's a good start. We'll kind of see what fruit may come of that, or what tangible efforts may come of that. I know the hospitals had some suggestions about making sure that their supply for rapid tests is that there's enough of those rapid tests in the pipeline, and that they have backup sources if there is a run on the rapid test. So, and I do believe that there are a lot more people, either because of an incident where someone is that they know of has tested positive, or someone in the workplace. There's a lot more of a need. And I think when you're looking for some sort of result, an urgent need in getting a test and getting a rapid result, I think that will be important as we go forward. So those are really the two things I had tonight: the big thumbs up for the schools, and just passing along word that we're going to that we do have the attention of the governor's office, and that it's kind of on our shoulders to do some things proactively locally to lower that incident, get us off the red county list, if you will. So, Matt, do we have anything?
No questions yet.
Okay, I'm going to hit one more topic, and I know there's a lot of people maybe just about to the max of their patience with government and politics, and so I don't want to go on and on tonight. I did notice last week, I think most people who are readers of the Inquirer noticed that Russ Kent has left the Inquirer. I was thinking about that as I was reading this article over the weekend. When I first, because I've known Russ and the Kent family for almost my entire life. I knew him before he was with the Inquirer, and then throughout the whole time he was with the Inquirer and working in other newspapers. And it's a long career, and I wanted to congratulate him on that and wish him the best. I think at a certain point, everybody deserves a right to slow down or find something else that they wanted to do with the rest of their life. Heck, I decided I wanted to be mayor for a while after I'd retired. So congratulations to Russ. And as far as the new editor, Andrew Carter, really a great guy. I know him from the first year of the Graders. So I'm excited occasionally over the past several years when the papers were sending stringers or reporters to our council meetings. Andrew would cover our meetings, and it was always good to see him again. And I look forward to working with him and trying to figure out ways that we can make the Inquirer not responsive, but relevant to how city government works. And so it's really a challenge when, as Russ pointed out, the editorial staff is pretty lean to be able to cover everything that goes on. And so I look forward to talking with Andrew about ways that we can make their e-page, their website, more interactive what the city's doing and whatever may happen. But I did want to mention congratulations to Russ and on into the future. I guess we'll all go. So, we got any questions?
Not at this time.
Okay, I'm going to talk about water sewer rates for a while, and the lights, so the phones will blow up. No, seriously, I don't know if there really is much out there other than people's attention on the national elections, state elections. I would say that just to buy a little bit of time and see if there's a question. We're probably more than halfway through the 2021 city budget insofar as reviewing what's been submitted. I think we'll be narrowing down some of the revenue that we expect. There'll be a discussion between now and the end of the year with City Council on sewer rates and some sort of rate increase in water, which is not a council function, but a function of the mayor or the city safety service director. So all that will happen over the next few weeks, but I don't expect a whole lot of changes in the budget for next year, other than the fact that we are going to have to take a look at water and sewer rates, because by intention, we have drawn down the balances, but now we're at a point where we need to sort of break even and begin to keep the balances at about where they're at, or increase them a little bit over the next several years. So, hey, all that stuff's really exciting. I say that with try to have a smile on my face, but again, the budget for 2021 is it's pretty far along the road, and I don't see any horrible things ahead for us. I think we're going to take a real conservative approach on revenue, and that will keep spending. There's nothing better to keep spending down than to have a conservative estimate on revenue, and so I think that's fair to say that's what we'll see in the city budget for next year. So, gosh, I don't want to be droning on, and if there's not much of an audience tonight, I apologize for that, but get out there and vote for the kids that put on that spooktacular, and we'll do what we can to keep in touch with you. Anything else?
Not tonight.
All right. Listen, going, gone. Please stay safe. That virus is out there, and we need to keep that community spread in the community to limit it to as few people as we possibly can. So, all right, listen, thanks for checking in, and appreciate time and attention. We'll see you next week. Good night.